Hello, this is Brian again. I'm hiking up this knoll again at Blue Jay Campground. So, just coming up the way here, like I've done a few times. You've seen me here probably a few times on my videos, but keep finding things that keep poking my interest. You know, I don't usually come here in the spring like I should. Been here. I've never been here in the summer, Blue Jay. I've only been to the Santa Anas once during the summer. It gets pretty hot in these mountains. But luckily on that day, it wasn't overwhelmingly, so it was only mid-80s. So, hiking up this little knoll, trying to see what else is going to be visible around here. Luckily, most of these coulter pines are still in good shape. I get worried about these guys. Seems like coulter pines are the big target here in Southern California now. You ever been in Angeles National Forest? Angeles Crest Highway meets up with Angeles Forest Highway. You'll know the Clear Creek Visitor Center is a little small shack. When you're coming up from La Cañada, on your right side is a little shack, little parking area, and on the left side, where the highways meet, there's a huge grove of coulter pines over there. Well, that's where like a Forest Service or fire station is, and fortunately, a lot of those coulter pines are being hit too. Some grapevines mixed in there too. So, seems like there's a bark beetle that seems to be targeting coulter pines. And I think there's a lesser outbreak of ones that affect knobcomb pines. I've been noticing that. The knobcomb pines here, I've been noticing here. But up in the St. Gabriel's and here, I'm noticing a lot of coulter pines that are being affected. And it's really worrying me because these trees add such beauty to this already fantastically beautiful landscape. Coulter pines are native here in the Santa Ana Mountains, but more towards the upper crest, over along Main Divide, near Trabuco Peak, Horse Thief Trail, and a lot of those were burnt in the 2018 Holy Fire. But I can see this poor guy right here starting to get some rusty discoloration in the top of his crown. To me, that's a telltale sign that something's wrong, and I believe that it might be next to perish. I hate to say it. So I noticed some here. A lot of them here are starting to get discolored. Once they start losing their green luster, their gray-green luster, and they start turning more of a silvery and losing the green in there, that's when you know something's wrong. And that's what I've noticed. And most of these pines still seem to be okay. I'm actually heading towards an area where I filmed this one grove of coulter pines, and there were some Jeffrey pines mixed in back in I think it was Valentine's Day. I'm looking over this way to see if I can find anything else that I'm gonna need, that I think should be addressed, but we're getting pretty close to where the Jeffrey pine trees are. Getting really close in this little mini meadow here. And there's another violet. It looks like that one's already past its peak bloom. I should know what these are. I should know. I want to say this is Sisyrinchium bellum. Sisyrinchium bellum, the blue-eyed grass or something. I think that's what this is. Sisyrinchium bellum, I think. Looks like it. It's like blue-eyed grass, or what is it? Blue-eyed grass or something like that. That's what it looks like. So getting just about down in the meadow. Right here in the little grove of coulter and yes, Jeffrey pines over here. Yep. Yeah, I see quite a few violets. Looks like these violets are past bloom. Looks like this one's a little bit drier of an exposure here. I think where I was a little moister. That's probably why things seem to be drying up over here, but I'm starting to get into some more violets. I was hoping to see more of them and maybe some other wildflowers, maybe like the deer's ears or something. There's a mustard family plant right here. I don't know if that's a lepidium, a peppergrass, I'm not sure. I said, got a long way to go to get my knowledge base up about our herbaceous plants. And herbaceous plants make up a majority of the number of species that we see. Yeah, I remember when I was looking at these Jeffrey pines here, I was wondering if they could be possibly ponderosas, because sometimes the prickly ponderosa gentle Jeffrey thing doesn't really work, according to some very well renowned experts and botanists. But the cone scales are not, just kind of looking at some of the cone scales, and they're not really darker, not significantly darker underneath than they are on top, so yeah, I'm sticking with Jeffrey pine. But yeah, I've been over in this area before. You probably recognize it if you've seen any of my videos from February. February 14th is when I was over here. But wondering what would be waiting for me if I went down to that meadow. What kind of interesting wildflowers I'd find over there. It's kind of what I'm curious about right now. Just remember coming through this area. It's beautiful over here. Now it is springtime. Time to check out what kind of plants are blooming. I had to get a little conifer fix today. Maybe I'll get lucky and see deer's ears. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe, perhaps, hopefully. The air just feels so fresh and cool. And it smells good. The moisture in the air smells good. Of course, the herbs, the plants, smell good. I remember walking up this too. More violets. Yeah, I think those are the Johnny jump ups. Now there are a few species of violets. There are a few species. Like I said, the one I saw in the Angeles, it was on Peak. It was on. It's informally called Vincent Gap Peak. It's an unnamed, unofficially named peak near Vincent Gap. It's about 7,560 feet above sea level. So it's about a 1,000-foot climb to get up there from Vincent Gap. It's a pretty easy hike. And you have to do a little off trail to get to the actual summit of the peak. But it's a relatively easy hike, except for a steep little portion of the PCT that I took. But other than that, it's pretty easy. And you'll see Viola purpurea mojavensis, the Mojave species of these violets. So I'll refer you to that video. Maybe back then I wasn't sure what species it was, but I later found out what it was and posted a comment, or I think I posted a comment or something in the description about it. I was hoping to find Parry deer's ears over here. It's just not happening. I don't know. Maybe they're extirpated from here. Kind of disappointing a little bit. Oh, even one of the Monterey pines is starting to die back. I don't know what's going on with that one. That's Falcon Group Campground over there. So these coulter pines seem to be doing okay, thankfully. But I'm just kind of disappointed. I was expecting to see Parry's deer ears. This is the type of area where you'd expect to find it, on the outskirts of woodland and forest and meadows. So I'm a little disappointed not finding that, but not disappointed to let that ruin the awesome day I've had. Not in the least. I love this area, the Blue Jay Campground / Falcon Group Campground area. Beautiful meadow. Still lots of coulter pines, and there are the incense cedars I just saw. So I kind of looped back a little bit. But, well, I'm pretty sure I'll eventually run into that plant again. I could always go back to Palomar Mountain State Park. I'm pretty sure they'll be blooming. And I've seen other deers. Here's like Frasera neglecta. It's another species called pine green gentian. This is in the gentian family, Gentianaceae. So sometimes they call them gentians too. But saw another species of Agoseris Mountain-Dandelion. So I really cannot complain. And I saw a plant, it was after I'd turned the video off, of course, naturally. Walked by it and it appeared to be Western Vervain, which would be Verbena lasiostachys. So so I've had quite an eventful day. Let's see if oh, and here we go. It's not ready, not blooming quite yet, but here we got sticky cinquefoil. It's Drimocallis glandulosa, variety glandulosa. It's getting ready to bloom, so that'll add another touch of color to this area. There's a lot of this blue-eyed grass or whatever it is. Pretty sure it's Sisyrinchium bellum. And of course, we got all of these little guys here. So I guess what I'll do is I'll head back to Long Canyon Road, see if I can find that plant I suspect to be Verbena lasiostachys. I gotta figure out what kind of sanicle that is. I'm pretty sure that's in the genus Sanicula. So I guess I will try to see if I can get over there before I lose power on the battery. Battery power's kind of low right now, but I want to see if I can find that plant again. That would be kind of cool. It's a beautiful meadow here. Really should be more careful walking in these meadows, but I'll just exit out through this area. There's a lot of goldenrod in here too. Solidago velutina californica. But this isn't the time of year for goldenrod. That's summer and fall. Oh no, this isn't the group campground. This is actually Long Canyon Road again. Let's see. Some type of clover here. I think it's in the genus Trifolium. Trifolium. Not sure what species again. It was a plant that looks like this, but it had flowers on it. I think that's Western Vervain. Verbena lasiostachys. Let's see if it is. See if I can find the one that had flowers on it. Flowers are tiny. You're really gonna have to look carefully to see them. The acorn woodpeckers like this area too. I've been hearing them periodically during the course of my visit here too. Yeah, it'd be cool if stellar jays live here, but apparently stellar jays aren't really found in the Santa Ana Mountains, what I've read. I'm kind of surprised. Stellar jays are pretty much everywhere else that I know of. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, I know kind of tedious looking at the side of a road, but it's just so colorful here. I'll point it towards the meadow a little bit more, and I'll be looking more towards the ground so it doesn't look too dull. Oh God, here comes a car. Yeah, wildflower hunting. Funting. I was going to say wildflower hunting is fun, but I mixed up my H and F apparently. But, let's see if I can find it before the power runs out. Probably miss it now that I'm actually looking for it. That tends to be my luck. Probably the same thing with the Parry deer's ears. Been trying to find that one. Coming up short. Coming up empty on that one. I just happened to catch sight of it. I guess I was looking down. A lot of times I'm looking down in front of me. Just down. And that's how I happened to see it. It was right here along the side of the road. Kind of has a purplish flower too. I saw another plant, one that didn't have flowers yet. Kind of an immature Western Vervain. I think that's what, like I said, I think it's what it is. If I find out differently, obviously I'll leave a comment or remark about it in the description. Here it is. I'm pretty sure this is Verbena lasiostachys. See, little tiny violet colored flowers. Kind of fuzzy leaves. It's right there in the center. That's the flower. I think that is a Western Vervain. Pretty sure it is. But well, I think it's about time for me to wrap it up. Get in the car and start heading back for home. Thanks for watching my video today. Hopefully you found it at least somewhat interesting. I know it was a little tedious at times, walking for long periods of time and stuff like that, but sometimes when you're hunting for flowers and plants, sometimes it is very tedious. Sometimes it's a very long, drawn out experience if you're looking for plants. So if you're looking for specific species, especially ones that aren't really common or maybe common elsewhere but not common in the area you're visiting, it takes a lot of diligence and patience. It's like that with, you know, filming wildlife and stuff like that too. Sometimes you got to be patient and very persistent. Maybe I walked past a couple deer's ears and didn't even realize it. But well, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope I gave you another reason to want to come out here. I know I'm always here at the Blue Jay Campground, but this area is very special to me. A lot of great stuff here. And I'll see you on my next video, so thanks for watching. Enjoy.